I mean, and I just remember was sitting there because it was like your post was up, and of course I went to the Pro Wrestling Syndicate page and read all the riffraff over there, and then when she posted that, I was just like, you know, is it wrestling fans or is it fans of women's wrestling alone getting to be very critical or just judgmental? Because it seems like lately I've been seeing this on Twitter with a lot of the girls complaining about fans just sending them all kinds of negative tweets and, derogatory tweets and stuff. It's just too
I
much.
think, for me, I honestly, I don't even know if they're, fans of women's wrestling. I would venture to say that some of the negative comments that I got personally, were because, maybe these people were, Katarina Lee fans and they were upset she didn't win. And then there's, the other thing is there's people who literally just want to bitch, moan, and complain. They would have bitched, moaned, and complained if whoever won the title. And then there's those people who just want to post negativity just to get a response, just to get a reaction out of somebody. So, and to each their own. The fact of the matter is, the best part was I posted that. What I posted, I literally just posted, one, to thank everyone for the love and support and the positive comments,
Mm-hmm.
two, so that people would stop, because I was getting messages from my friends and from fans that were, like, upset for me. And my point of posting that was kind of, like, thank you for feeling that way, but, like, I'm okay. Like, these people are not hurting me by any means. Like I said, it's not the first time negative things have been said about me. I'm okay. Let these people say whatever they want. I'm okay. And again, like I said, the other thing was, I felt like Pat and Eric's reputations were being shot at. And I love Pat and Eric so much as my friends and my bosses that I would stand in front of them and take the bullets if I had to. To me that, it's crazy, but I would never want anyone to question the integrity of my friends, or anything of that matter. You can question my integrity till the cows come home. The fact of the matter is, the people that are closest to me know me. So I don't, other than those reasons, I wouldn't have felt to put anything. Because, the people that matter to me know me and know that, that stuff's not true. So I don't ever have to defend myself to people who don't know me.
Yeah. But does it ever make you, when you see this type of stuff and you receive these type of negative comments and, like you said, there's people that just, bitch and moan and complain about nothing just to do it. But does it ever make you question your safety of when you're working a show? If they're attacking you online, you never know what they're going to do in person.
I think, have only questioned my safety ever at 2 shows,
Mm-hmm.
neither being PWS shows. PWS is such, like, I can't even explain it to you, and everybody, it's going to sound like I'm just blowing smoke up a company's ass to just put a bell on me, but it's so true. PWS is such a, I think Eric Tapout says it best. He put up the other day, like, the definition of the word syndicate, and we're such a tight-knit group that I would never question my safety at PWS, at a PWS show. First of all, there is security there. But other than that, if anybody was to try anything, I've got not only a whole locker room full of women who would protect and defend me, but I've got a whole the whole guys' locker room would protect and defend me. So I never question my safety, when I'm at PWS. And not to mention, quite frankly, growing up where and how I did, I can handle my own in a fight. Like, I've been in bar fights with guys 3 times my size. That stuff doesn't scare me or bother me. Like I said, literally only twice have I ever been in fear for my safety. One was at a show in Connecticut that we did in a bar. It was an all-girl show where there was no security. Guys were drinking. They had me brawl through the crowd. And I literally had drunk guys, like, get in my face to the point where I pretty much had to almost heave one over a wall.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. And the other one was I got handed a note at a show from a fan. It was 2 pages handwritten, like in print, front and back, like very neat. and with a single white rose at intermission. I had already worked, and I went to the locker room, and I opened the letter, and I started to read it. And I was like, oh my God. And one of the girls took the letter, read it, and literally walked it right out to the promoter, who it was an IWA show in Reading, where I was training at the time. Mm-hmm. And so she happened to walk it out and hand it to my trainer, Rapid Fire Maldonado, and he read the letter. And it pretty much was just all the stuff. It was a typical obsessed fan letter. But, like, it talked about how, like, this guy didn't condone violence against women, and he's not homicidal, but he's suicidal, and just a bunch of really crazy stuff, and how he was off his meds, and I couldn't even make this up. Yeah, I can't even make this stuff up. And, so my trainer, Rapid Fire, at that point was like, from this point on, you do not leave this locker room unless someone is with you, like, one of the guys are with you, and, like, I literally couldn't even go out the side of the curtain, and they wouldn't let me walk 3 feet to the bathroom by myself without one of the boys with me. Like, I was escorted by 3 of the boys to my car. Like, yeah. So, I mean, stuff like that, I think is, and I think the only thing in that situation that made me scared was that everybody else was so scared.
Yeah.
But I'm never in physical fear for my safety at a PWS show.
Well, from the shows I've seen from Pro Wrestling Syndicate, like, I don't know what it is, but for me, it just comes off like it's a tight-knit group. And
it really is. I mean, I honestly think that, we will all back each other up and defend each other. Mm-hmm. But that's how it's supposed to be. Like, when you think back, like, or at least when I started in '96 in the business, it really was that whole family mentality. And a lot of places I've worked over the years, it's not that way. And that was one of probably the most appealing and refreshing things for me at PWS, is literally just how, and not even just like the locker room or the owners, like they run a training school with, I think up to like 30-some students now. Pat Buck's the head trainer. Yeah. Their students are so amazing. Their students like defend me. And literally, normally I've been other places where, there's the locker room, the show, and the management, and then the students are there, and the students don't get treated very well, like, they, and the students, I guess for that reason, because they don't get treated very well, don't kind of meld in and don't kind of mesh in, becomes like a division. PWS, literally everybody backs everybody else up. Mm-hmm. There is no kind of divide between the locker room and the students, or, the locker room and management. I would venture to say, confidently that, you would not find one member of that locker room who does not respect Pat and Eric, and what they do and what they bring to the table, and how hard the 2 of them work.
Yeah, it seems like it's from when I've watched past shows, I've just been like, it seems like a little tight knit group. Usually when I watch independent shows, you can see some of the guys in the back over here, and some of them are way over here, and then when I looked, it was like somebody was coming out through the curtain, and it was just like everybody was just sitting together. And I was just
the picture you saw was right after this past Saturday Thank You Jerry show. Mm-hmm. It was immediately following the Jerry Lynn Lance Storm match. Lance had come back first, and literally that whole locker room, I mean, that is what it looked like. I'm actually in that picture somewhere. The whole locker room gathered, in a semicircle around the back of the curtain, waiting for those 2 to come back, and they got a standing ovation from the locker room. That was the picture that you saw, was Lance had come back and Jerry was coming back in.